Okay, JesseMorrell here. I'm visiting Alaska, doing some missionary work and visiting some friends, and of course we're always homeschooling on the road. And so this is the Arctic Chess Club. We brought our chess board with us. I'll show you here. Here's our chess board, and that's the glaciers in the background. So we got all these beautiful glaciers. So all these beautiful glaciers that we're showing the kids, and we also took out our chess set so that we're playing, like I said, the Arctic Chess Club. Now there's lots of life lessons you can learn from chess that I use to teach my kids. For example, I teach my kids, life is full of possibilities, and that's what the chessboard is. It's a whole board of open possibilities. What's going to happen, the outcome, that's all determined by the moves that you make. And so chess is just like life. And I tell them the most important thing is to think before you move. And so just like with chess, you ought to contemplate all your different options, contemplate consequences, what's going to happen if I move here, if I do this, if I do that. And so I teach my children, think before you move, think before you act, consider the consequences, consider the outcome. And that's a perfect life lesson from chess. Also, I consider, chess to be an analogy of life, because you should try and see things from the other person's perspective, to not just look at things from your point of view or from your side of the board. Look at things from the other person's side of the board, to see things from someone else's perspective. And so the outcome of a chess game is determined by the quality of your thought life, and that's true with life. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thought life. How well do people think things through? I think that's something that a lot of people nowadays don't really, weigh the consequences of their actions. You need to consider the risk and the reward. Like I know a guy who robbed a bank. He robbed multiple banks. He made maybe about 10 grand, but he got, like 10 years in prison. Well, 10 grand is not worth 10 years in prison. Morality aside, ethics aside, you can make 10 grand in just 6 months or so, depending on the quality of your skill. And you don't want to risk 10 years of your life for 10 grand. And so think consequences. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thought life, just like with chess. Weigh the risk and the reward. Another good life lesson from chess is that you get better with practice. Life is acquiring knowledge, acquiring skill, acquiring experience over time, and you should continue to acquire skill and knowledge as time goes on. Same with chess. You get better with practice. With life, you should get better with practice. It's you're in an ongoing development. Your brain is continuing to grow and to learn. Also you should learn how to handle defeat. With chess, you don't win every game. In fact, there's a lesson in every failure. There's a lesson in every defeat. Every time you lose a game, you should analyze it and say, well, what move did I make that was wrong? Look back and reflect back on the choices that you made to figure out, how did I get here? Why did I lose this game? How did he get ahead? How did he get the advantage? And the same is true with life. It's important to reflect back on your past decisions, to say, how did I get here? When I wound up in jail, and I was locked up, and I was just reflecting back on what brought me to where I am today. I still do it in my, my life. I look back quite regularly to think, how did I get here with a wife and kids and ministry and traveling? What led to this? And so you should always reflect back, just like on a game. If you're playing a grandmaster and he just totally destroys you, that's a great lesson, to understand, well, what did he do? How did he get there? How did he check me in, 3 or 4 moves? And so with every failure, there's a lesson. Now, life continues to teach you the same lessons until you learn it. You'll continue to make the same mistakes over and over again until you learn the lesson. Well, that's true with chess. You continue to make the same mistake over and over again. You're going to continue to lose. You need to learn your lesson before you move on and advance in the game. And the same is true with life. Also, I think, with chess, you can learn, with business, it's kill or be killed. That's the nature of life. especially as carnivorous humans eating animals. It's kill or be killed. That's true with business and competition. It's kill or be killed. And with chess, it's certainly kill or be killed. I think the two most important takeaways from chess that you should apply to your life, that I really try to hammer into my kids, what I already mentioned. Number one, think before you move. That's vitally important. Before you make your decisions, don't just move by impulse, don't just move by feeling, don't just move by emotion, or don't just follow the crowd. Consciously and with, contemplation, think before you move. And then secondly, don't be discouraged by failure. I was just talking to one guy. He was from Africa. We were visiting, and he said, well, he doesn't like to play chess because he loses a lot. And I said, yeah, that was true with me too. When I first got started, I would play these guys who would just demolish me in chess, and I got discouraged by it. People like the feeling of winning, the dopamine released in your brain that says you did a good job, and when you lose, you don't have good feelings, you have bad feelings. But that's life. You don't win everything. You don't get everything that you want. You have to learn how to deal with failure. You have to learn how to deal with defeat. Especially, say in the business world, the entrepreneurs, they say an entrepreneur will fail a bunch of times and then they finally is successful in one time. You have to learn how to overcome failure if you're ever going to get to success. And you have to learn in chess how to overcome defeat if you're ever going to become a grand master. You have to learn to deal with that. So those are the two key points I really try and impress on my kids. Think before you move, and learn how to deal with failure. There's a lesson for success in every failure. There's a lesson for victory in every defeat. The question is, how fast can you learn, and how fast can you apply that knowledge? That's what life is really all about, to acquire as much good knowledge as you can, and to apply it as quickly as you can, so that you can be a better Christian, a better servant of God. You can be a better person, a better husband, a better father. Acquire as much knowledge as you can and apply it as quick as you can. So here we are. Just wanted to do a quick video for you guys here. Again, I'll show you that chessboard. We're in the middle of a game. We haven't quite finished yet. I don't know really who's winning. It's kind of tied, but we're just out here in the Arctic checking out the glacier. It's been a couple years since we've been here, but it's cool. You get to just walk around on these glaciers. These things have been here forever. They're going to stay here forever. They melt a little bit every summer. They grow again every winter. They're cool to see. So all right, just want to tune you guys into my little life here. We're homeschooling on the road, lessons from chess. I'll talk to you later. Moves. God has given us all sorts of talents and abilities, creativity, imagination, the ability to visualize the future, that to have a vision for the future, to plan your future. Just like with chess, you're supposed to have a strategy. You're supposed to know the end game. You start with the end in mind, and that's certainly another lesson I teach my kids about life. Start with the end in mind. Have a vision of where you're supposed to go. Have a vision of where you're supposed to be. Have a vision of where God wants to bring you, and then plan your moves and make your moves in accordance with that vision. So another great life lesson from chess is future planning, having a vision for the future, and making your moves accordingly. So walking back on the glacier, my daughter fell asleep. She can fall asleep anywhere. Just fell asleep right on the glacier. Let's just take this last minute to show you how great it is out here. Look at those beautiful mountains. Starting to get a good fall out here, and fall colors. And out there's the glacier that we were just on. See it from far away. It's nice. So yeah, it's nice to be able to homeschool on the road, homeschool on the glacier, teach my kids lessons for life from chess. I think one thing I forgot to mention on the video is that, choices have consequences. I try and teach my kids every choice has a consequence. So you have to think, what's the consequence as you're making your choices? Just like with chess, every move has a consequence. In life, every choice has a consequence. And God gave us a mind so that we could comprehend those consequences and think them through. And so we're just on our way back. It's our nap time. So see you guys later.